Hi folks, I hope you're well. This video, coming after the last one. Yes. So this one is about avoid. Really? Avoid. If you know that something is unhealthy and something is not good, then avoid. The whole idea that, okay, to a certain degree, you have it in you where if you have things from God that are beautiful and that could actually help them, you want to share. Of course you want to share. Because if you can help someone to take the path to God rather than the path to hell, you want to help. You want to help. In a way, you're willing to go through 2 hours of stupid conversation if maybe at some point you can get through to that person. Problem is, you can't. You can't get through to these people in a position where they are comfortable and they don't want help. They don't want to receive. You can't get through to them. Not in any way, shape, or form. The only way that you can get through to people is if those people are desperate for help. If the people come to an understanding of what path they're on and they're desperate for help to get off that path onto the right path, then you can help them. Otherwise, all you're doing is you're putting yourself in a situation where it's self-abuse, basically. And that's what it is. It's self-abuse. Bothering with these people, bothering trying to share with people that will not receive because they're not in a place where they can, because they're not. And again, it's not a criticism of them. If they're not in a place where they can receive, then they won't. They just won't. So you have people that walk past church every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. Until they come in, you can't really get them, can you? You have friends at work that have told you day after day after day they want nothing to do with God. Well, until they start asking you questions about your relationship with God, you can't help them. Right? If what they're going to do is, if they're going to slam the door and say, no, I'm not interested, then that's it. Understand, if that door has been slammed in your face a number of times, walk away. Don't go back to the door. If they open the door and they come running after you, desperate for help, then that's a different matter. But that's what it has to be. If they have slammed the door in your face a number of times, then it has to be them running after you, begging you for help. Because now you know they're ready. Now you know you're not wasting your time. Because it is that point. Fool me once. Okay. Fool me twice. Okay. But fool me 3 times, that's on me. That's on me. Once and twice, I can say, okay, I gave you opportunities. 3 times, I'm sorry, that's on me. There's a lady around here who is someone who is broken, absolutely broken. I've tried to help her. I've spoken truth to her. She is not in any way, shape, or form ready to receive. Absolutely not. No. You show any degree of care or concern towards her, she will treat you like a piece of shit because that's what she does. That's what she does. So until she's ready, nope. No, she's done that 3 times to me now. She won't get another chance to do it again. For me to help her in future to, deal with any of that, she's going to have to come running after me, begging me to help. She's going to have to show me she's ready. And that's going to have to be the case with churches as well, because once you've knocked on the door and you've had this, then, yeah. Part of the reason why I gave this pastor another chance is because I didn't even recognise it was the same pastor. That's the truth. I didn't recognise it was the same pastor. And yet, as soon as he confirmed he was the same pastor, I was thinking, why am I even on the phone to this man again? He confirmed early on, I'm banned because of the way I do things. Basically, because of the way I walk and the way I talk, I'm banned. As soon as he said that, I should have said, well, there you go. Okay, I wish you well. You take care. Bye-bye. I should not have continued the conversation, should I? As soon as I realised it's the same bloke, boom, that conversation should have ended. But no, you try and do the nice thing and the right thing, and you end up regretting it. And again, I'm not blaming him for that. That's me. I should have walked. Because I know well enough that if people aren't opening the door, you're wasting your time. You're just banging on the bloody door, hurting your own knuckles by doing so. There's no point. When people are ready, then they will receive. Until they're ready, they won't. Right? That's the reality. Until they are ready, they won't receive. That's the reality, and that's the reality of us with God as well. Same with God. God understands that. He knows that until we're ready, we won't receive. Therefore, generally speaking, he doesn't try and do the things that he needs to do to help us until we're ready. Why? Because it's human nature to run and hide. And if God is doing something to help us to learn, then often what he's doing is going to come across as hurtful and bad and painful. And so therefore, we're going to run and hide when we're not ready, aren't we? Which makes us far less likely to actually be ready for that. So God says, no, I'm not going to do that. We need to be as wise as that. If we have gems to give, we need to stop trying to force them down people's throats. Yeah? So again, we try to force it down people's throats because when we see people on a path to destruction, we want to help them to see that. But if they're not ready, as I say, there's the Casting Crowns song. Again, I can't remember the blinking song. It's annoying. Go there. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I can find this song. Right, it's what's it called? I'm trying to find this song. I bet it's not actually in the thing I'm looking at now. It was. Come on. Oh, it's called Love You With the Truth. Yes. Love You With the Truth. And in the song, he's talking about his best friend who's dying and on a road to destruction. And he's talking about the weather and all that. Yeah, the problem is, again, he's basically saying in the song, no, you've got to be talking about the thing that matters. When the people aren't ready, they won't receive it. So all you're doing is you're just frustrating yourself. So in the song, he's frustrated that he won't speak truth. If he was speaking truth, he'd be just as frustrated if his friend wasn't ready. Just as frustrated. But that's the point. Waiting until people are ready is not an easy thing to do. And again, it's as if God doesn't know, as if God isn't in control. Because you're thinking, yeah, some of them might die before they're ready. Well, then they will die before they're ready. Then they will go to hell. But that's their choice. Yeah, as if, again, you're as if you're saying to God, come on, do something, because, one of them might die. As if God doesn't understand that. As if God hasn't seen millions of people like that dying and going to hell because, it was like years ago. I was watching something and or somebody, and the person was saying they believe in God, but they're not going to give their life to God. They're going to go and have a great time, and just before they die, they're going to give their life to God. They're going to go and drink, and they're going to go and have sex with as many women as they can, and take drugs and do all this, and just before they die, they're going to give their life to God. Yeah, the problem is, yeah, you might just die suddenly, and so many people have. So there you go. You take care. God bless. Be ready.